Hey, this is Gary with Black Diamond Games. I want to talk to you about my book. My book comes out in March, and the title is Friendly Local Game Store (FLGS). And yes, I'm laying claim to the FLGS title and phrase, which is, I know, a bold move, very bold. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think the book was worth it, but I think you're going to like it. And I want to talk about the book a little bit. What is this book? And I had people ask me, should I wait for your book to come out, or should I buy the books that are already available? And I think you should get all the books. I think the books that you should definitely pick up are the Dave Wallace book, the Specialty Retailer's Handbook, must-have book. It'll save your life if you're new, save your store. You can get that through most of the distributors. I think Alliance has it. Lloyd Brown has a book. It's an electronic book, and it's encyclopedic in its scope. It covers many topics for opening and operating a store. My book isn't doing that. So there's not a lot of overlap. So you can get all the books, and it's not like you have to pick and choose because there's not that many. Get them all. So what is my book about? Friendly Local Game Store. It has really two components. The first component, as you might expect, is how to start and run, mostly start a full range game store, meaning a well diversified store that appeals to the general public, and will provide you a middle class income in 5 years. That's the plan. So if you take on this challenge and you have the capital and you put in the work, that's the promise. Middle class income in 5 years, which is only like $50,000 a year, but for a lot of people, that's a huge amount of money. So the book goes over how to do that. It does not go over how to run a clubhouse store, because I don't believe you can make a middle class income ever if you're running the Gamer's Dungeon or whatever, the Android's Dungeon. So that's the first part of the book. So in one respect, if you're a game store owner, that might be of interest to you, but it might also, I think, will be of interest to your customers. So you should stock this book. If nothing else, if you have clubhouses popping up all over the place, you can try to sell this book to the pop-ups. And if nothing else, they'll either most likely be discouraged, or they'll open a great store, and good competition is great for everybody. More than likely, they'll realize it's a lot more work than they anticipated. So that's the first half of the book. Along with that, in each chapter, I do some autobiography. I write how it was for me when I opened the store, and stories on the various topics. And sometimes I'll say, here's what you should do, and then my autobiography will be, but I didn't do it that way. Here's what I did and all the hijinks that ensued. So I think the hijinks is probably going to be of interest to existing store owners more than the how-to part, because I wanted to write a book that I wanted to read. Right? I didn't want to read a technical book on retail, because I've read them and I do it, and I can obviously write one because I am writing one, and I needed something a little more than that would keep my interest. I knew I didn't want to read one, so I definitely wouldn't want to write one. So I think if you're an existing retailer, even if you're very experienced, you'll enjoy the autobiographical parts, because sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's really sad. I mean, I almost lost my house. I almost lost my wife. It was not easy. It's not easy for anybody. But I have a story, so I tell it in the book. So if that's of interest to you, I encourage you to carry the book, and definitely get one for yourself. But I would carry it in your store, and you can point to this book for those who wander in thinking your job is easy, because you know how easy our jobs are. So if you can make it to the GAMA trade show, I will be selling and probably signing books on the trade show floor. It hasn't been fully discussed exactly what I'll be doing, but I'll be there doing that. I'm also there anyway, giving a presentation on inventory management. So definitely check that out. My inventory management, it's the same one I gave 2 years ago If you happen to see that one, then you know what to expect. All right. Please share this if you found this video useful or enjoyable, or if you have somebody who needs a book on game stores. All right. Thanks.